Though cases of COVID-19 are waning, there is some talk that a fourth booster shot will be authorized by the CDC. We asked Dr. Dara Cass, U.S. Health and Human Services Regional Director for Region 2, about the potential for side effects from COVID vaccines.
Yeah, I mean, remember that those feelings you have after that vaccine, after that booster, that's your immune system working. So what we've seen with Omicron and now this BA2, people talk about how it's less severe, it's more mild. And I do want to be very clear that having had it, it isn't fun. And you don't want to get a severe case or even if you're going to be symptomatic, you want to have as best protection as possible. And even for me, my course with this Omicron version, I got it again in December of 2021. And it was not the same experience I had the first time. It wasn't a walk in the park, but it was definitely it was shorter and it was less severe. And I give some respect to the vaccines for getting me there.
To find COVID-19 vaccines and boosters near you, check out vaccines.gov.
Yeah, military life can have its challenges, but sometimes veteran life brings more. While serving in Iraq, an IED took both my legs, but it didn't take my spirit.
As America's veterans face challenges, DAV is there.
My name is Greg Gadsden, 26-year Army veteran.
With the right support, more veterans can reach victories, great and small.
DAV helps veterans like me get all the benefits they've earned, and that can be a life changer.
DAV provides a lifetime of support to veterans of every generation, helping more than 1 million veterans each year.
Today, I'm an entrepreneur, photographer, and public speaker.
But there's more to be done and more victories to be won. With the right support, there are no limits.
My victory is just being the best that I can be.
Greg Gadsden, thank you for your service. May your victories inspire many more. Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Vivek Murthy, and I have the privilege of serving as U.S. Surgeon General. I'm proud to join the Child Mind Institute for their Dare to Share campaign, because one of the biggest barriers to mental health care in our country is the stigma associated with seeking help, is to be human, and that we all have the power to help each other heal.
If you or a young person you know is struggling, please visit childmind.org for help and resources.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. Game 6 in the Eastern Conference Finals tonight in Boston. The Heat hoping to force a Game 7 back in Miami. They shot an NBA best 38% from three during the regular season, but they're only clicking at 29% during this series. Heat guard Victor Oladipo.
We understand that it's going to be a war, honestly, and we have to come with the right approach, right mindset, and just think about the task at hand.
Victor Oladipo. Our coverage of Game 6 starts at 8 Eastern on ESPN Radio, TV, and the app. There's a Game 6 in the Stanley Cup playoffs tonight, too. The Avalanche take a 3-2 series lead into St. Louis against the Blues. The top available player in the ESPN college basketball transfer ratings will join the Texas Longhorns. Former Iowa State guard Tyrese Hunter was the Big 12 Freshman of the Year last season. And IndyCar will be the first North American racing series to use 100% renewable fuel. Shell plans to switch to a low-carbon fuel starting next year.
Feeling great starts with a great shave. And great shaves start with Barbasol Shaving Cream. And for a limited time only, capture your Barbasol Jurassic World collector cans before they're gone.
Now your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Money. That's money. Enter it on our station website now.
Log on to ESPN. And welcome into the program. Happy Friday to you. Hope you got a long weekend coming up, as we do here in the Sportsocracy. Yes, programming note right off the tip. We will not be with you on Monday, and we are looking forward to a 3-day weekend.
I will be having an adult beverage by a water source. I can't tell you which brand of either. It'll be something.
It'll be something. Well, if you need a pool to hang out by, I got one in my house.
Oh,
that's right. You have one at your house.
And I was like last week years old when I found that out. I had no clue. Hey, we have a pool. Where is it? Over there. I don't ever go over there.
Well,
so
Monday may be your day.
There we go.
Today's going to be my day because the pool's open at the neighborhood, and hope you get to have some rest and relaxation this weekend. Memorial Day weekend, we got a lot going on in the sports world. Obviously, the NBA playoffs, NBA finals are almost set. We have the Golden State Warriors taking down the Dallas Mavericks last night, as expected.
And frankly, if they could just play all 7 games of this during the Memorial Day weekend, that would be awfully kind of you.
You'll be just fine with that. You got the Boston Celtics and the Miami Heat tonight. Could be the deciding game of the series. However, don't count out the Heat just yet. Eric Spoelstra says he's got them ready.
Yeah, count out the Heat. You can count them
out. We will have college bowl schedule. Yeah, apparently that's come out, and we're just
it's out and it's weird. It's out and it's very weird.
All right, we'll talk about that coming up later on in the hour. Second hour today, we're going to talk top 30 quarterbacks in the NFL. Has your quarterback ranking changed much?
Chris Sims is doing that thing he does that drives me absolutely bonkers.
Oh, what, where he says something that's just patently stupid?
He's putting out his top 40 quarterbacks right now.
Okay.
And he has ruffled many a feather. I'm not going to lie. Some of them are dumb. Mm-hmm. Like, if you have a rookie in your top 30, you did it wrong.
Yeah.
If you have a rookie in your top 40, you did it wrong.
Agreed.
So I was going to do 40, and then I realized, oh, wait, 31 through 40 are completely irrelevant.
Yes.
So we'll trim that down to 30
All right.
and do it in the second hour of this here program.
Yeah, top 30 quarterbacks coming. Yeah, it's going to be a fun weekend. Hey, it's Coca-Cola 600 weekend. So race fans, I know you're excited about that back in Charlotte for the Coca-Cola 600. You got the Indy 500, the double hitter in auto racing coming up on Sunday.
Maybe Jimmy Johnson can win the Indy 500.
There's some intrigue there.
Why do they start that race at like 5 o'clock in the morning?
I have no idea.
It starts at 11. But see, 11 o'clock on Memorial Day weekend on a Sunday, you might as well have started it at 5 o'clock in the morning.
I don't know if NASCAR has anything to do with that schedule, but, I mean, that's the way it's been. I mean, remember when Tony Stewart was doing somebody else did that, too. I can't remember.
Several guys did that. John Andretti
did it. I remember that, yeah. Nobody doing the double duty this weekend with the races on Sunday, but Jimmy Johnson is going to make his Indy 500 debut on Sunday. And you still got the hockey playoffs going on.
Bangers. Gave you one last night. Over. Just go over. Always. I don't know what hockey did. I did not follow hockey closely enough to know what has changed about their rules. They score a lot more than I remember.
Yes.
I mean, drastically more than I remember.
I think it's an anomaly. I think this postseason is an anomaly from other postseasons.
Well, the last 4 would say you're wrong because this is about right.
Okay. All right, man. Don't know anything about hockey. That's why
I don't know what changed. Is the puck a little lighter?
Did they make the net bigger? Did the goalies shrink? Don't know. Can't tell you. In the NHL playoffs, though, you got the Carolina Hurricanes winning last night over the New York Rangers. They now have a 3-2 series lead on the Rangers.
It's okay. They'll be playing a Game 7 because the next one's in New York.
Yeah, they're going back to New York where, New York won the first 2 in New York. So could be going to a Game 7, and you still got the Avalanche and the Blues going at it.
Oh, and I have a spicy hot take on that one at the end of this hour.
Nice. All right, we'll have the Greene on Greene, the 5 on it. Weird news, just a bit outside all of it. Jeremy will get mad at the end of the program. It's going to be a chock-full Friday. So welcome into the program here in the Ingles Studio. Always brought to you by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings, and of course, you can always see us on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click on that live video link. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat.
And I have a very simple question to ask.
Okay.
I had never thought of this. Somebody on our social media asked me this question, and I've been thinking about it all day long.
Okay.
How good is this Warriors team historically?
Very good.
That's easy to say.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to make an argument that on its face sounds insane.
Okay.
I'm not sure this isn't the best team other than Michael's Bulls ever.
Really?
And don't give me 1947. Okay, if my parents weren't born, I don't care.
I was gonna say, but I mean, you got to go back to
the highlights of it are still frames or etchings or they're not, whatever. Right. I don't care. Right. You could give me Bill Russell until you're blue in the face. I'm sure he was great. He was being guarded by guys my size. Okay, so calm down.
That's where everybody's gonna go.
I'm talking modern NBA. Let's say since Woodstock. I'll go 1970 on.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you a stat about the Warriors that I did not know.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know the last time they made the playoffs and weren't in the finals?
Oh, that's a good question. Don't know.
It was 2014.
Really?
It's been 8 years since they made the playoffs and didn't make the finals.
Okay.
And in those 2 years, you had the Rona year and you were missing Klay Thompson. This nucleus intact has made 6 finals in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Did lose 2 of them. So, I mean, you can't say they're better than Michael's Bulls.
Right.
But I could make the argument that they're up there.
They are up there. I mean, I thought about this earlier of, thinking all time. I think the Celtics have to be ahead of them.
But if
we're
one?
going...
Well, so that run in the 80s.
I was going further back. I was going to the Bill, the Bill Russell era, Bob Cousy, those guys.
Nope, it's
so
video
if we're
it didn't
that
happen.
Out,
video it didn't happen.
If we're cutting that out, I mean, San Antonio would be
never had a run like this.
Closer.
Never had a run like this.
I mean,
not anything even close.
4 championships in 5 years over the what was it? 12, 13 years, they won 5 NBA championships.
They won 5 from 1999 to 2014.
Okay, so 15 years.
And they made the playoffs every single year.
Mm-hmm.
That was good.
Yeah.
This is 6 finals in a row.
I get it. The Showtime Lakers.
That one's debatable.
That was a 9-year period from 1980 to 1989. And they made 8 finals. Won 5 championships. That's pretty hard to do. I'm not trying to slight Golden State, but I just don't think they're there yet.
And here's where I'm going to upset somebody. The difference between that Showtime Lakers team and this Warriors team, the league's better now. The league's more balanced now than it was back then.
I would agree with that.
You had Magic and Kareem, you were automatically in the Western Conference Finals.
Mm-hmm.
There was nothing that was going to stop you outside of yourselves. And if you disagree with me, tell me the second best team. I'll wait.
Right. And in this 8-year stretch of the Golden State Warriors,
you've gone through several iterations of who the best team in the West was.
Mm-hmm.
And they've just shredded them all.
Mm-hmm. You go through the Clippers, went through the Lakers.
Clippers.
Yeah.
The can we rename that team to the LA Sasquatch? I have been told how they're so good and so talented. Well, it's weird. I really predominantly watch the playoffs. I don't ever see them.
Well, come on. They have been really good. They've been really talented. The problem is, in the Lob City days, they couldn't win in the playoffs. They couldn't get it done.
And now here's Chris D in our YouTube comments. This is why I love the setup of this show where we have YouTube comments and you can in real time.
Mm-hmm.
If you had to call, somebody'd have to answer it. We'd have to screen it and make sure you weren't going to say wordy dirt.
Exactly.
This way, it's instantaneous. He said the super teams era needs to be separated. I don't disagree with that, except for one thing.
Mm-hmm.
The vast majority of this team, not a super team. They drafted them all. So, and before you say Kevin Durant, I'm well aware of that.
Take out 1 year, though.
There you go.
Right.
And now you've done it on both sides of that without him.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't matter.
That was just, to me, the Kevin Durant thing in Golden State was always just a foregone conclusion. Like that's why Kevin Durant gets so much crap for that. Like, there are people still out there who believe that Kevin Durant has not won an NBA title. Obviously, that's not true because he was a member of the Golden State Warriors. However, they won it before he got there, and then they won it when he was there, and now they could win one after.
Andrew Ayers in our comments said, when it comes to the NBA, I'm very flippy-floppy. Okay, I have a feeling I know what you're getting ready to say. I thought this run was over. The fact they just eviscerated everybody in the West, and if you don't believe me, they've only trailed in the fourth quarter in half of these games. Mm-hmm. They're not just beating teams. They are destroying teams. That has changed my opinion. I thought they were done. I thought they needed Kevin Durant. Mm-hmm. I was allowing revisionist history to catch up to me because the 2 years, well, they were killed. They were hurt.
Yep.
And now you're together, and now nobody can stop you.
Right.
Andrew Wiggins. It's weird. Andrew Wiggins and Kevin Durant, you're every bit as good with one as you were with the other. And so I think over the course of it, I'm not saying I don't even think they're the best team in the NBA right now. I think they're going to go into this finals and get dump trucked. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this is one of the most sustained periods of excellence I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. And that is what he was talking about. And I will still say Boston's the favorite to win this series. When they go to the finals with Boston, you don't match up well with that. Now, if you're a betting man, I have bet against this Warriors team since, I don't know, the start of the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Been wrong every stretch of the way. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not even sure how well they're actually playing. They're much better defensively than I thought.
They are.
And I think that's why I think that's why this is swaying me so much, is because when it was pointed out to me, I knew they had been good. Mm-hmm. I did not realize that intact, you've never not made the finals. Mm-hmm. All together, all intact, all of the pieces together, you have never not been in the NBA finals.
Well, they are the leader of the new era of the NBA. I mean, all of this, 3-point based offense, it all started with Steph and Clay. Mm-hmm. I mean, they started this, what's it been? I guess 8 years now that they've been playing splash ball of just chuck them up, and as long as you got two guys who can hit at a high clip from outside, you're going to be a dominant team. They started the whole era. We will look back on this as the Golden State era of basketball.
Absolutely. And the thing that's just amazing to me is that let's just say I'm going to emphasize this a third time just to make sure people that I'm not being flippy floppy. Mm-hmm. I do think the Celtics are going to beat them. Let's just say they don't. Mm-hmm. This will be your fourth title. You've won them 3 completely different ways. Because you're not going to outshoot Boston. That's not going to happen. They're too good defensively. You will have to flat out outplay them. Mm-hmm. You will have to out-defend them. You will have to out-movement them all. This will have to be an all-around. We're not going to beat them 130 to 117. That's not how these games are going to play out. Mm-hmm. So this will be your fourth ring that you've won 3 completely different ways. Michael never did that.
True.
Showtime Lakers never did that. Mm-hmm. They won one way. And it's just impressive that you have been able to take different ancillary pieces and none of it's mattered.
Yeah.
As long as you've had Steph, Clay, and Draymond, it's pretty much been the same result.
Mm-hmm. If they win, they will have the opportunity to climb that dynasty ladder. I just don't think they're there yet. I would say in modern-day NBA dynasties, I think I got them 4 right now. You win this title, then we could talk. Maybe we'll bump you up. Maybe I, on my personal list, will bump you up over the Showtime Lakers. But until then, I don't have it. I mean, do you consider the Kobe Bryant Lakers, the Phil Jackson Lakers, as a dynasty?
No. It just didn't last long enough. It was a few years.
I mean,
and then when it all came tumbling after, it all came tumbling after.
Oh, it came crashing down pretty quick, yeah.
But I mean, that's up there. I just don't put it to the 3 that we've said to me are that's the 3. Mm-hmm. Showtime Lakers.
What about the 80s Celtics?
They had kind of the same problem that this Celtics team has. They were really wildly inconsistent. Mm-hmm. The good was great. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, they're in that top 5. But I think there's a clear delineation between these 3 and everybody else.
Yeah, I think the Kobe...
maybe I'm impressed by the wrong thing. If you can do one thing really well, why would you change it?
Right.
I'm just... after I started piecing all these things together and looking at exactly how good they have been, I was just awestruck by this will be the 3rd different way you've won a title if you do.
Right. That's an interesting one that I hadn't thought about, though.
I hadn't either. Somebody said it on social media, and then it got in my brain, and it wouldn't go away.
Right. So, I mean, obviously, Michael and the Bulls and their 2 3-peats are at the top of the hill, and I don't know that there's ever going to be anybody that can touch that.
No, and the thing that it irritates me to such a point of, well, Michael never lost one. Who did Michael beat exactly? I mean, not trying to be spicy here, but it was just it was a beltway of the best team out west, and the East was dramatically better.
Right. You had the Sean Kemp, Gary Payton Sonics. You had the Dan Marley, Kevin Johnson, Charles Barkley, Phoenix Suns. Yeah. Michael was a dynasty unto himself. I think LeBron was too, but he's nowhere near.
I mean, here's the thing. You can't love him in because he kept moving to different places.
Exactly. But, I mean, the fact that he made, 12 straight finals or 10 straight finals or something like that on every team that he was ever on in the Eastern Conference, I still think that means a little something, but it's definitely doesn't put him on the list of these all-timers like the Golden State Warriors find themselves on now. You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The college football bowl schedule is out. We'll talk about that coming up next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, after all the big rains last night and the flash flooding and the stormy weather we've had today across North Carolina, looks like everything moves on east and away from us for the holiday weekend. So lower humidity coming into the forecast tonight and Saturday. Still dealing with a little bit of cloud cover out there. Could see a stray showers. A cold front clips us tonight, 55 degrees, but most of the big weather has moved well east of us. Partly cloudy Saturday, 76, low 55, 80 Sunday. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's $5 Biggie Bag. Wendy's Biggie Bag is still just $5. Get a double-stack junior bacon cheeseburger or crispy chicken BLT plus 4-piece nugs, small fries, and a small drink. Grab your bag at Wendy's today. U.S. price and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
Progressive Commercial Insurance flexes to fit your business's needs, from quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options. Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Here's to the great American settlers, the millions of you who settled for unsatisfying jobs because they pay the bills. Of course, there is something else you could do if you got something to say. Start a podcast with Spreaker from iHeart and unleash your creative freedom. Maybe even earn enough money to one day tell your old boss, hey, I'm no settler, I'm an explorer. Spreaker.com. Spreaker. Hustle on over today.
Hey folks, DG here. Y'all know I've always loved the slogan, Smiles Change Lives, which I first heard years ago from Dr. Rebecca Merrill of Asheville Smiles. I hope you will live that slogan here in 2022. Whether it's just time for a routine cleaning, you want to learn more about Invisalign, a great alternative to braces, you need a diagnosis and treatment plan, or if you don't have dental insurance, you just want to learn more about her special membership plans. 828-251-2426 or AshevilleSmiles.com.
Deep in the remote jungles of Colombia, a new species has been spotted. Humans. These humans are using animal mating techniques in their search for true love and are forbidden to speak to one another.
Not talking sucks. You either have your mate here or you don't.
Someone's got to go home.
This is it, the jungle or die.
Dating's never been this wild. Love in the Jungle on Discovery Plus. Start your free trial. Terms apply.
Macy's Memorial Day sale has everything you need to dive into summer the right way, with specials like 30 to 40% off sandals, slides, and more, and 25 to 40% off tops and shorts from Inc., Tommy Hilfiger, and more. Plus, refresh your space with 50% off hotel bedding. And Macy's Star Rewards members can earn rewards even faster during Star Money bonus days. See Macys.com/Star Rewards. Savings off regular sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I am Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
The Sportsocracy.
We treat star athletes better because they're better people.
That's not fair.
Life isn't fair, kiddo. Get used to it.
Back here in the Sportsocracy in the Ingles Studio on ESPN Asheville, and we did the college over-unders yesterday, and now we've got the bowl schedule has been released. It's just like we've got college football fever.
I need something that's not the NBA,
right,
and not baseball. I'm trying so hard to find some way to be involved in baseball, and I can't do it.
You just can't do it.
The Reds put up 20. They put up 20 runs yesterday.
Wow, I missed that.
Worst offensive team I think I've ever seen. It's baseball.
Mm-hmm.
We're a quarter of the way into the season, and I think it started like 6 months ago.
Right.
This season's going to end in 2025.
College football bowl schedule is out. It's all going to kick off on December the 16th with the Hometown Lenders Bahamas Bowl. I still feel like if you're going to get a bowl invite, that's got to be one that's on your list.
That's pretty high.
I want to go to the Bahamas for a few days.
The thing that I found funniest about this is that ESPN painted themselves into a corner.
How so?
They had to move the Sugar Bowl because they had the last Monday night game that was being played in the same arena on the same day.
Oh, well, that's
How
special.
did nobody think about that? Like, maybe, just maybe we shouldn't put the Saints on that because, it's the same stadium.
Right. Hot.
I also was today years old when I found out that New Year's Day is on a Sunday, which means New Year's Eve is on a Saturday.
Yeah.
And that is not good for my liver.
It is going to get rowdy, and on Saturday, December the 31st, we'll have the two semifinal games for the college football playoff, the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl down at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium at 4 o'clock. Well, I guess one's going to be at 4, one's going to be at 8. We don't know which one's going to come first. And then you'll have the Fiesta Bowl in Glendale, Arizona. And then the national championship on Monday, January the 9th.
You'll also have the New Year's Day Bowls. Those are going to be on Monday, which will be the federal holiday that we all have off. So you will be able to watch football all day on Monday.
Nice.
You'll have a full day of NFL football on Sunday, the Rose Bowl at 5 o'clock on Monday, and a Bills at Bengals Monday night game after that.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
That's the greatest weekend ever. So you're telling me I get to have adult beverages from about 5:14 on Friday until well after the sun has gone down on Monday. Happy New Year.
Yep, and on that January 2nd, did notice that we have the Tampa Bay Bowl now. Outback no longer a sponsor of the bowl game, so this is no longer the Outback Bowl. This is now just the Tampa Bay Bowl.
They need to move some more Bloomin' Onions. I mean, do we need to get on the Save the Bloomin' Onion train?
Maybe they realize that it's just not worth it anymore. I don't know, but I'm shocked that Tampa Bay, of all places, couldn't find a replacement. The TB12 Bowl. It's something to get the Tom Brady's little weight loss program or vitamin shop or whatever to sponsor this thing.
Yeah, no. I cannot. I saw all of this and went, oh, that's a weekend to look forward to. That is more action in one weekend than we've had in the last 3 months combined. So it's just giving me something to look forward to.
Did the smaller bowl? Do you even care about the smaller bowls?
No, I care about and I will say that's one thing that everyone said about the playoff is that, this will kill the bowl games. And I defended that thinking, well, it's football, so, I'll watch it. Yeah, that has not served to be the case. I couldn't tell you, for anything other than scouting reasons, a bowl game that I have watched just for fun. Even the Rose Bowl last year, Utah and Ohio State, that was tedious to watch.
Tedious?
Oh, it was awful.
I mean, it was a hell of a high-scoring game.
Yeah, and see, I don't like that. I want somebody to play some form of defense. I don't want to see Jackson Smith and Jigba, who was the third receiver on this team anyway, go for 3 bills.
Just lighten it up all over the place. And, part of me just feels like that the bowl games have lost some luster.
They absolutely have, and the ratings have gone in the tank.
Because the ones that we only really care about are the CFP games. The big games, they have their intrigue as well, but you got to get a really good matchup. And if it's not a really good match, I mean, even the CFP at this point has lost some because the semifinal games aren't great.
Well, I mean, you're biased here because there have been several blowouts.
There have been several blowouts, and that's what I'm talking about. Like, every now and then you're going to have a great game. I mean, the Rose Bowl, what was that, 3-4 years ago? Georgia and Oklahoma?
Still, to this day, greatest college football game I've ever seen.
Ooh, better than the
USC,
Young?
Texas. I know.
Yeah.
Those are the two.
Okay.
I'm not listening to anything else.
I mean, the blocked field goal and all the drama that they had at the end of the Oklahoma-Georgia game was just phenomenal.
Oh, it was great.
And then you compare that to what we had this past season where Alabama blew the doors off of Cincinnati in the most boring blowout I've ever seen. And then Georgia did pretty much the same to Michigan.
Well, I mean, and that goes to what I said to you the other day. That's what Greg Sankey's seeing. This is the reason he wants to do the separation. This is the reason all these conferences are looking at. They wanted to dissolve the divisions because divisions aren't good for you. Divisions are bad. ACC, perfect example. I don't want to go 6 years between a team in the Coastal playing a interdivisional rival. I don't want that to happen. I want everybody to play as frequently as possible.
Right.
I also don't want to see North Carolina and Wake Forest playing non-conference games against each other.
I also don't want to see one division of a conference completely dominate like the Atlantic has in the ACC. The last 2 Coastal champions, we had Wake Forest and Pittsburgh.
Oof.
Yay!
Meanwhile, Pittsburgh, another team that I should have mentioned yesterday. That there's a lot of things that line up pretty well for them. I don't love that they lost Jordan Addison.
Yeah, that doesn't help by any stretch.
No, but they have 3 defensive linemen that will go in the first 2 days of next year's draft.
They do. That Donaldo or what?
Baldonado. Habakkuk Baldonado.
Yeah. Habakkuk Baldonado.
They also have another guy named Kalijah. Kalijah Chauncey? Oh. Can you tell I've been watching?
Yeah, already
I'm to the
in love.
defensive line evaluation. Pittsburgh's actually going to be pretty good. And that's with me not believing in Keaton Slovis at all.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
All right, Jeremy, have you ever heard of Bernie Ecclestone?
There's so many jokes came to my mind. No. Is that the real name of the guy from Weekend at Bernie's?
Oh, good one.
Is that Bernie Sanders' real name? Okay.
Oh, no, he's much older than Bernie Sanders. In fact, Bernie Ecclestone.
Is that possible?
Bernie Ecclestone is 91 years old.
That's not much older. It's in the ballpark.
Yeah, I mean, they might have gone to the same high school
I was
at the same
about
time.
to say. One of them might have been a senior when the other one was a freshman. But
right. Bernie Ecclestone, he's a Formula magnate. He owns Formula One teams. And he got arrested in Brazil for having a weapon in his luggage. Now, it's not so weird. We have stories all the time. I mean, heck, we've had one of our own congressmen, cited for the similar thing
more
twice.
than once.
Exactly, twice. Trying to take guns on an airplane. But anyway, the billionaire showed up to a Brazilian airport, the Viracopos International Airport, and they found in his luggage an undocumented LWC Camp .32 caliber gun. I know nothing about guns. Apparently, it's a very small handgun, though. The funny part is he says he packed it by mistake, and the reason was because just before he got on or got his bags packed and went to the airport, he was larking around the house. I'm not sure what that means.
What is that word you just said?
I don't know. He kept saying it, so I don't know if that means something in his native land or whatever, but apparently he was like skulking around his house, jumping out and scaring people with this tiny little pistol. He's 91 years old. Think about how frightened you would be if your 91-year-old senile grandpa thought it was hilarious to jump out from corners and scare you with a pistol.
By the way, the Webster's definition of larking is enjoy oneself by behaving in a playful and mischievous way.
There you go. He was just being a little scamp.
I get too confused by different ways of saying that. I thought larking was where you went out in the woods and like dressed up as woodland critters.
No, that's you're thinking of LARPing.
Okay,
live action role playing.
Oh, stop.
This is
I hate the world we live in sometimes.
Yeah, no. Anyway, it was just a mistake, but he is still being cited. He had to pay like $1,000 to get out of jail, and it's like, really? He's a billionaire. Who cares?
Mark Redetic has become famous for quite possibly my favorite reason ever.
Redetic, okay.
At the 2022 PGA Championship, Tiger Woods hit a drive, went into the woods, and there were a series of people around him as he was hitting his second shot. Well, all of those people got out their cell phones because that's what we do. You can't live in any moment. You have to see every moment through the lens of your cell phone. Well, Mr. Redetic didn't. He sat there completely stoically on camera with his Michelob Ultra in his hand. And now that has led to him being endorsed by Michelob Ultra.
Awesome.
They've made shirts. They've put him on beer cans. And it's all under the tagline, it's only worth it if you enjoy it. Because this guy's he's sitting here he looks like me, just sitting here with a beer today, just going, I'm so happy to be out here on a golf course. And the next thing he knows, he is Twitter famous.
Nice. He's got an endorsement now.
I want one of these shirts. Just random dude. It's only worth it if you enjoy it.
Nice. This is your goal. This is now your dream in life, is to just get a Michelob Ultra sponsorship of some kind for you showing up housed at the Phoenix Open.
100%. I will say, if I ever wound up with a Michelob Ultra endorsement, it would be, it's only worth it if you can have 47 of them, because I think that's about how many of those it would require for me.
So it's 47 Mich Ultras, 38 Bud Lights.
I never thought of that. Should switch to Michelob Ultra.
Less calories. Less carbs.
That's a Jeremy Greene philosophy kind of day. It's hard to drink all day if you don't start in the morning.
Right.
That's the perfect way to do that.
The college football bowl schedule came out, and was there anything else you took away from the schedule?
Well, I just think it's funny that the college football playoff and the committees that do all these things, they avoid the NFL like grim death.
Of course they do.
I just found it comical.
Sunday, January 1st. Nope, can't have any games on that day because you're going to get
killed.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is the second most popular sport in the country, and they went, nope, can't do that. Do you know the last time the Sugar Bowl was played before January 1st?
No.
I was 8 years old. It was 1995, and they played it on December the 31st, and it does not say why.
Mm-hmm.
It was between Virginia Tech and Texas.
But I think that's the way it should always be. I think New Year's Eve should be the days that we play these college semifinals.
Why?
I don't know. New Year's...
See, this is the difference between me and you.
Yeah.
For me, I want you to keep New Year's Eve as clear as you can because I know me.
Because you're prepping.
I know how. It's not prepping.
Prepping for the party.
Prepare to launch. Slingshot, engage.
Right.
If I have to work that day, which is super rare.
I don't know. I like the run-up of having 2 games that I'm going to watch in full because the first one starts at 4, the next one starts at 8. By the time that one's over, it's 30 minutes to the ball drop, and boom, there we are. New Year's Eve, wrapped up, tie it with a bow, go to bed, do whatever you're going to do on New Year's Day.
Yep, and that's the exact opposite of me because I don't care what happens on a television set. I am not wrapping anything up on New Year's until the sun cometh up.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
You go well past the ball drop.
Absolutely. Who's shocked?
Nobody.
Show of hands.
No, nobody.
And the beauty of that is then you get to New Year's Day where you just don't want to do anything. And it's like, hey, football's on.
You're also
That's the 2 best days of the college football season. Day after Thanksgiving, New Year's Day. 2 best days of the season unequivocally. And those are your days.
I think I've actually switched my thoughts on that as well because I think, rewind the tape to last year when we were talking about these bowl games. I think I said New Year's Day needs to be the time for the semifinal games. I used to think that. Now, it just kind of makes sense. Maybe it's because I'm evolving and I'm getting older and, I'm ready for bed after the ball drops. Like, you're go out on and go out on the town and
I am the John Daly of sports talk. That was said to me the other day, and now I can't stop doing it.
You and HWA, like, going to all the parties and gathering with strangers and all of that. I'm
not sure I like how that made me sound, but okay.
What are you just a party guy?
Hey.
A party couple.
I ain't here for a long time.
Right.
I'm here for a good time.
I've never been one of those. I've never been a go out on the town, Halloween. You couldn't find me near a Halloween party at a bar.
Oh, yeah.
Ever.
Oh, the chances of I'll be 100%. This probably explains me better than any line I could possibly tell you. The chances of me wearing a costume are higher at 35 than they were at 9. And it's not even close.
Indeed.
Not even, because I always thought that was ridiculously stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I would watch my friends do that and go, you do realize they sell candy at every drugstore, grocery store, gas station.
Right.
I don't have to go to some stranger's house and have them put it in a bag for me.
Right. I can't really remember the last time I went out on New Year's Eve. I think it was when they had there was some big concert on New Year's Eve at the Ag Center in the Davis Event Center, and we went to that. And I think that was the last time that I went out on New Year's Eve, mainly because to go to the concert, I had to miss the CFP games. And so I don't want to be out. I want to be at home watching the games. Let's see the ball drop. Let's go to bed.
And for me, I had a larger takeaway of you look at the scheduling issues with this. To me, this promotes you have to expand this. I think it's almost getting to a point where it's not even what do you want to do. This is what you have to do. How many people, average viewership of the Fiesta Bowl last year? How many do you think it was?
Oh, I would
It was
go.
Oklahoma State and Notre Dame. Man, they better just all the happy that you had Notre Dame.
I'd go 11 million.
It was 8.
8?
8.
Yikes.
Because you've devalued all these things.
Mm-hmm.
If the CFP legitimately thought they had any chance to contend, you would keep your traditions.
Because what happened?
But now the NFL's moved their schedule out. You know you can't contend with it.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you beat that? This is not that hard. Keep your day. You currently have a nice little niche on Friday and Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Keep that. Stop worrying about the date. New Year's Eve. Who in the world wants to watch a college football game on New Year's Eve anyway? We've already disbanded this myth that they're student athletes. 34 years of my life, I heard that oxymoronic term, and now in 6 months, that's been just clay pigeon.
Eviscerated, yeah.
So why do you care?
But you have these other games, and I agree with you on the expansion. I've always felt like there needed to be more up to a point. I mean, I'm not one of these crazies that believes there should be a 32-team
Well, no, those people are insane.
Exactly. But
because that's too much of a good thing is no longer a good thing.
But you stretch it out to 8, you include all these bowl games. And,
I'm even higher than that.
And then
I think you let the SEC do what they do.
Okay.
They have all the inventory, all the places to put this. You let them do what they do. I also think this is how you convince the dissenters. Pair up the ACC and the Big Ten. I always get confused on those two because there's 10 teams in the Big 12 and 12 teams in the Big 10.
Mm-hmm.
Pair those two up, pair the Big 12 and the Pac-12 up. Your champions play each other. We'll go 4-team battle royale. Chuck Notre Dame in, and I guess with the ACC. Now you have it, and done. And seen.
So you have 2 national champions.
No, they play each other. That's how you fill the CFP.
And one. So you have the SEC bracket, then you have the other bracket, and then boom.
Champion plays each other.
Okay.
That's how you keep the money. Because the reason that people like Dabo Swinney have been against this forever, he knows it's not a draw.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's say Clemson plays, I'm trying to think of some random school, because they're always going to be so good because that conference is so bad. Let's say Clemson plays Oregon. That going to do a bigger number than that $8 million that Notre Dame, Oklahoma State did? No. And the SEC has all the power. So why would I want to grow this? I'm already a big fish in a small pond. If I'm that big fish, why do I want to get into a bigger pond? Mm-hmm. I'm good where I'm at. This is working perfectly fine for me. You're going to have to incentivize this somewhere. And it's good for the sport. This is the in a nutshell. And it's weird that I'm taking this much from a schedule release, but here's the thing. End of May, the Friday before Memorial Day, nobody in sports really does anything because they're all home. I took a lot of inferences from this. Now you're competing with the NFL. It used to be it was the playoffs, and you could slide right in the middle of the week. Now you're still in the regular season. You still have way more interested fans, and we've kind of seen that they don't split allegiances. I think that's why the rating's going down. I don't think it's necessarily as much because the CFP has devalued it. I mean, I think that's certainly part of it.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that you're competing against the lion in the room. That's a horrible idea. It's a horrible idea. The NFL draft beats the NBA playoffs. Why would I want to contend with that?
Right.
Just shrink the schedule down. Shrink the schedule down. You can have these midweeks all to yourself, and you will do a stupid number.
Mm-hmm. I don't feel like the CFP has lessened anything. It's just the dominance of the SEC that has made it less. I mean, let's be frank. Like we said, these blowout games, you had that 1 year. That 1 year where Ohio State beat Alabama. And you always have the Big Ten fans who are like, oh, see, we beat them once. Yeah, you beat them once in the last 15 years. Congratulations.
And I have to comment on this because this is a good comment. John DeLon in our YouTube comment said, most years there's only 2, maybe 3 teams that have a realistic shot at winning the national title. Expanding the playoffs is bending to participation trophy culture. Usually I would 100% agree with that. This is not about the play on the field. You get that, right?
Oh, for me, this
has nothing to do with the resolution on the field because you could play these 100 times and it's going to end the same way, 99 of them.
Possibly.
I'm not sitting here telling you that the 12th best team in college football has any right to play for a national title because they don't.
Mm-hmm.
I could argue most years the 4th team doesn't have a right. That's not what it's about. It's about money.
Mm-hmm.
It's about money. It's about eyeballs. It's about this NIL thing that's crept in here because you got to read the tea leaves. You got to get from point A to point R. If all this money's going in, how are they going to recoup it? You're going to have to make more money.
Right.
That's the only way this works. If all of a sudden you're pouring money in that you weren't pouring in before, why would you do that? To reap a benefit on the back end.
I think one of the biggest things that hurts these other bowl games is that you have so many of the opt-outs because it doesn't mean anything.
And that's the thing. You can kill that problem here, too. Because who's going to – all right, let's say you're BYU.
Mm-hmm.
You're the 12 seed in a CFP. Are you going to opt out? Is Jaron Hall going to opt out of that game?
No.
No shot.
No, because he will get crushed.
Will that completely kill every other bowl? Sure will.
Yeah.
Who cares?
They're already killed.
Who cares? Let the Sun Belt teams and all these feature them. Play them in the middle of December. Mm-hmm. Feature them on a Friday night on ESPN. first of all, the scout in me would just absolutely love that because I would stop having to watch grainy Zapruder film of some of these schools because apparently they don't understand how cameras work. To me, this is the easiest solution in the world. You're just going to have somebody chime up and go, okay, this is broken, and we have to fix it.
Well, you talked about the the rating of the Rose Bowl, and it was a great game, but not everybody watched it.
See, and to me, it wasn't a great game. To me, it was a glorified spring football game in the Rose Bowl. If you remember, the day after that game, I came in here and said the bowls are broken.
Mm-hmm. How about this? It was a competitive game. It was a one-score game. It was back and forth the whole way. But do you not think that game would have been better? And do you not think that Ohio State would have been at full strength?
Yeah, you had Chris Olave, you had Garrett Wilson. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's more palatable to me.
They opted out of the Rose Bowl, which years ago would have been unheard of because it was the Rose Bowl.
5 years ago, that would have been unheard of.
It was still worth something. Now, it doesn't matter. If you're not in the CFP, people don't care.
No.
I mean, still 8 million people cared, but more people will care if there's a shot at a national championship because the players will care more.
And there's a comment of playoff opt-outs outside of the SEC will still happen. I'll bet you they don't. I will bet you they don't because the first player that does that, the first high-end player on a team that's 10, 11, or 12, and I'll tell you this from the fan side and from the work with team side, you will drop like a rock if you had the opportunity to win a national title. I don't care if it's a 0.0 to the n-th power opportunity to win a national title. You opt out on your team, I guarantee you just cost yourself $5 million. Mm-hmm. You'll drop 2 full rounds. I heard it on the opt-outs from the coronavirus year. That was, if you remember, that's the reason I was so off on Micah Parsons and so off on Jamar Chase, because I thought it was going to take them a full year to acclimate.
Right.
And I thought they were going to fall because teams were so sour on them. Well, come to find out, maybe missed that just a little bit.
Just a bit. But the players will play
100%.
If there's any shot that they have at a national championship, because that will be a ding on your report card
forever.
Going into the next, going into the NBA or the NFL draft of, wait a minute, you had a shot to win a national title. Win a game.
You will be labeled as soft as a marshmallow peep if you opt out of a game in the expanded playoff like that.
People got upset when Leonard Fournette did it at LSU. They got upset when Christian McCaffrey did it at Stanford. Those are two teams, if I remember correctly, that were so highly ranked that they would have been in a 12-team playoff, and that never would have happened. Leonard Fournette would have been on the field for the bowl game, and so would Christian McCaffrey.
This is the only problem that college football has a reasonable, easy solution to. And yet, you don't have anybody that can just jump up and go, hey, Dabo, nobody cares what you think. You're going to be in it anyway. You're going to have to split the pie a few ways. Sorry, this is where we're at.
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. We got your picks of the night, the first round of picks of the night in Greene on Greene, coming up next.
Did you know Ingles only sells USDA Choice and Prime cuts of meat? Maybe it's time to reward yourself. Our butchers cut all our meat fresh in the store every day. Grass-fed, organic, you name it. Not only that, we'll even cut it to order just the way you like it. And we grind meat fresh in the store multiple times a day. It's all in the bag. That's the best meat in town for the best folks in town. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
River Ridge Marketplace in East Asheville has been a staple of Buncombe County for generations, and now they're inviting you to their Spring Fling, May 28th from 11 to 4. There'll be food from their great restaurants such as Happy Cinco de Mayo, J&S Cafeteria, and many more. They'll also have sidewalk sales from their amazing vendors, snow cones, inflatables, and a petting zoo for the kids. So join me May 28th from 11 to 4 at River Ridge Marketplace.
With all the Memorial Day sales going on, here's one you actually need from Zero Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. Schedule today and get 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $119. Mention ESPN Asheville and you'll get a hallway clean for free. Schedule with ease at ZeroResAsheville.com. Zero Res, it's the right way to clean.
As the country bounces back from COVID and mask mandates are lifted, your business needs a lift too. Promote your company right here, right now. Radio ads connect with 93% of Americans every week. That's more than Google, more than Facebook, more more than TV. In fact, radio reaches 20% more millennials than TV. Want more of the people you want to talk to all in one place? Visit iHeartAdvertising.com and get AM and FM working for you. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Let's plan on having concessions over there.
Mike is remodeling the old family drive-in movie theater.
Hey, go find Gavin. Tell him the sound team is here.
He'll need a new front-of-house cast and behind-the-scenes crew.
Hey, can we talk staffing real quick? I'm thinking at least 6 per shift.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Progressive Commercial Insurance flexes to fit your business's needs, from quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options. Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
iHeartRadio Earth is here with little tips for a healthier planet. Globally, about 1,000 plants we depend on for food and products need to be pollinated by animals, including coffee, melons, chocolate, almonds, and even tequila. Help stabilize the declining honeybee population by planting native plants that they rely on for food, habitat, and nesting. Brought to you by iHeartRadio Earth and the National Environmental Education Foundation. To find more tips for smarter, sustainable living, or to take action in your own community, go to iHeartRadio.com/Earth.
Every search you make, every click you take, they'll be watching you.
Tired of companies like Google and Facebook watching everything you do online? There's actually a simple solution. DuckDuckGo. It's an all-in-one privacy app with a built-in private search engine, web browser, one-click data clearing, email protection, and more, all for free. Download the app today and get the most comprehensive privacy protection with a push of a button. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
There are so many words to describe Panera's new Chef's Chicken sandwiches. The chicken, juicy, succulent, seared. The brioche roll, buttery and toasty. The Parmesan crisps, crunchy, tangy. The secret aioli, creamy and rich. All those words, but when you have a bite, you might just be left speechless. Panera's new Chef's Chicken sandwiches. Enjoy $1 delivery fee when you order on our app. Restrictions apply. For details, visit panerabread.com/delivery info.
Coffee's for closers only.
Get them the money. Then when you get the money, you get the power.
That watch costs more than your car.
Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
We were almost perfect last night. I was one overtime goal away from being 100% perfect. But still went 3-1, pushes me to 2 games over 500 for the year of 2022, and I got 4 picks for you tonight. First, the St. Louis Blues are a plus 145 dog at home. Over-under is 6.5. I think this is going to be a slugfest kind of game. The Blues are very obviously ticked off after the Avalanche hurt their goalie. I'm taking the Blues outright to force a Game 7 at home. Give me the Blues plus 145 under the 6.5. Finally, the Boston Celtics are an 8.5-point favorite tonight. Over-under is 201.5. They haven't sniffed an over-under in what feels like forever. So I'm going under, which means it's probably going to go aggressively over. But this series is over. The Heat don't have enough offense. The Celtics, you're going to have to beat them in Boston. Good luck with that. Give me the Celtics, minus 8.5, under 201.5.
Go and do likewise, gents. The money's out there. You pick it up, it's yours. You don't, I got no sympathy for you.
And you can take those wagers over to betus.com. Use the promo code Sportsocracy and get a 125% deposit bonus on whatever you put in, up to $2,500. Lock it in and make you some money tonight with Jeremy's hockey bagger.
Hey, I'm into the hockey. I'm not going to lie. I'm more into the hockey than I'm into the NBA, and it's not even close.
Right. Last night, I was sitting in front of my television, and I turned on the hockey for just a second, and then I flipped over to one of the replays of a Georgia game this past year. That was it just can't keep my attention. The PhD weight loss program is helping Jeremy and I get healthier, and I have found out this week it's been one of the most physically taxing weeks of my life, and since I have lost 66 pounds, over 66 pounds with this program in the last 24 weeks, I'm just feeling so much better about who I am.
For me, it was never about the weight loss goal. I was never crazy overweight. I was just a little doughy, and it affected my sleep. It affected my ability to work out. And now in just 6 short months, I'm going back to the gym. I'm sleeping better than ever, and it's all thanks to the food, nutrition, and program of PhD Weight Loss.
It sounds like it's crazy, but it is amazing how you feel after you are able to drop a huge chunk of weight. And even though I'm down more than 66 pounds, I still got a great journey ahead of me for the second half of this journey as we try to reach the weight loss goal. But PhD believes in me. They believe in you. Go to myphdweightloss.com. PhD Weight Loss, the official weight loss program of the Clemson Tigers and their fans.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, after all the big rains last night and the flash flooding and the stormy weather we've had today across North Carolina, looks like everything moves on east and away from us for the holiday weekend. So lower humidity coming into the forecast tonight and Saturday. Still dealing with a little bit of cloud cover out there. Could see a stray showers of cold front eclipses tonight, 55 degrees, but most of the big weather has moved well east of us. Partly cloudy Saturday, 76, low 55, 80 Sunday. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by KFC. Biting into a sandwich is good. Getting the perfect bite of KFC's juicy, hand-breaded, 100% white meat chicken filet with tangy mayo, thick-cut pickles, and a buttery brioche bun, that's finger-licking good. Order the KFC chicken sandwich in classic or spicy today. Prices and participation may vary.
There are so many words to describe Panera's new Chef's Chicken Sandwiches. The chicken, juicy, succulent, seared. The brioche roll, buttery and toasty. The Parmesan crisps, crunchy, tangy. The secret aioli, creamy and rich. All those words. But when you have a bite, you might just be left speechless. Panera's new Chef's Chicken Sandwiches. Enjoy $1 delivery fee when you order on our app. Restrictions apply. For details, visit panerabread.com/delivery info.
Shop Northern Tool and Equipment this week for their Memorial Day sale. Save up to 50% on lawn and garden equipment, fans, power tools, and more. Shop in-store or online at northerntool.com.
I think it's just vapor.
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
One vape pod has as much nicotine as one pack of cigarettes. Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling?
Because I love football.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. Heat and Celtics for Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals tonight in Boston. The Celtics hold a 3-2 series lead. Heat guard Tyler Hero is one of 5 Miami players listed as questionable for tonight. ESPN's Brian Windhorst.
Tyler Hero went through a light workout this morning, which is moving in the right direction because he hasn't been able to do much the last few days. But Spo said that he's still trying to convince the trainers and Spoelstra himself that he can be able to play tonight.
Brian Windhorst on This Just In. For the Celtics, Marcus Smart and Robert Williams are also questionable. What isn't is our coverage of Game 6, which starts at 8 Eastern on ESPN Radio, TV, and the app. Chargers offensive lineman Zion Johnson signs his rookie contract today. The 17th overall pick is expected to be the team's starting right guard. Gil Hodges, who won 2 World Series playing for the Dodgers in Brooklyn and Los Angeles, will have his number retired by the team next weekend before his posthumous induction at the Hall of Fame in July.
If you need to hire, then you need Indeed. Their powerful hiring platform helps you schedule and conduct video interviews all in one place. Finding your next great hire has never been more streamlined. Get hiring at Indeed.com/credit.
Now your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Cash. That's cash. Enter it on our station website now.
Log on to ESPNAVL.com.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets.
Kicking off the last hour of the holiday weekend, Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. You can hear the Sportsocracy everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. See us everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can get with us in the chat. That's your best way to get in touch with the program immediately, and we'll respond on the air with the, your comment has to be good to get highlighted.
And
but
there
we
can't
have
be
a lot
wordy
of good.
dirts. That's the reason we don't.
That's true.
It's the reason we don't take calls.
Right.
So we don't have a screener.
Yeah. So anyway, that's your best way to get in touch with the program. We're glad you're along on the ride with us here in the Ingles Studio. Always brought to you by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings. It's time to talk some NFL football. Chris Sims putting out his top 40 quarterbacks for the upcoming year and some surprises.
I'm not going to say they're really surprises. He's just catching a lot of shade for it. And I'll be honest with you, I know a lot of people don't like him.
Mm-hmm.
He's been wildly accurate about quarterbacks. We talk about this every year at the draft because his rankings tend to, I'll say, pan out more often than many.
I remember it was probably when we first started doing this show, at least on the daily basis, where you were like, oh, Chris Sims is really good at this. And you laid out the case and showed us, where he had Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson and those guys ranked in that class. And I get it. He's been pretty accurate. Still,
but there's always one.
Right, but still some of his rankings are just insane. Like, I don't know, the latest one that came out was Justin Fields is almost in the top 20 quarterbacks in the league, and to me, that's dumb.
Well, what's funny is a lot of people were angry that they had him so low.
And those people are stupid.
Well, it's ironic you said that way because this led me to doing my top 30 quarterback rankings. And let's be really honest, the reason we did 30 is because I don't really think you care where I have Gardner Minshew or Teddy Bridgewater or Taysom Hill or any of those guys. It just doesn't matter. Once you get to that point, you're doomed anyway. Now, my top 40 will be out on our social medias after this show. If you're curious, my 40 is Baker Mayfield. And the way I do these rankings is very simple. If I had to win a game to save my life, what order would I, if we were picking dodgeball teams, what order would I take, guys?
Okay.
So we start at number 30, and it's that guy you just said. It's Justin Fields.
Justin Fields at number 30.
I have Justin Fields at 30. I have him behind Davis Mills. I have him behind almost all of the quarterbacks from his own draft class. Matter of fact, I have him behind all of the quarterbacks from his draft class. I just don't buy him, and I never have. I didn't buy him when he was coming out of college. I didn't buy him after 1 year now. And I don't take what's around you as much into consideration. But with him, I feel like I have to. I feel like I don't have a choice but to take that into account.
You don't have a choice. And that's the reason when I went through my rankings, I also had him at 30. He's not down there with the dregs, the Drew Locks, and I include Marcus Mariota in all of that because I'm not a big believer. But Justin Fields doesn't have any help around him. We saw what he was last year, and to put it kindly, he was dog excrement. That's putting it kindly. Now he goes into this year with maybe he's got a little bit more offensive line protection. Tevin Jenkins coming back, some of the moves that they made in the offseason.
You mean the right tackle that's going to be his left tackle?
Uh-huh. It could work. I mean, the guy played left tackle when he was in college, so maybe he can keep playing left tackle at a decently high level in the NFL. We just don't know that for now. But he has no weapons to throw to.
No, and I mean, you have to take that into account. And I'll be honest with you, he could have Justin Herbert weapons. I still wouldn't have him above 26.
Okay.
None of that would matter. I think he makes poor decisions. I've always thought that. I've always thought he takes off way too quickly, and he benefited from having great talent around him. Does he have weapons? I shouldn't say weapons. Does he have tools? Absolutely. But it's nothing to write home about to me. There is nothing I have seen from him, whether it was college or in the NFL, that makes me go, yeah, you're going to be a great quarterback in this league.
there were moments when he was at Ohio State that I thought, that looked like a big boy throw. That looked like a good NFL throw. And I feel like he's got some of those in him. It's consistency.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know who else had big boy throws? Ryan Leaf.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Leaf had some throws where you went, that guy's going to be really good.
No doubt.
But there was nothing there.
Mm-hmm.
There was one of those for every 5 bad plays. And I see Justin Fields very similarly.
Justin Fields at number 30 on the top 30 quarterbacks at number 29. You and I differ on who's number 29, but yours is Davis Mills.
Half quarterback, half giraffe, Davis Mills.
I thought you had more faith in him than that.
Not really. I mean, he's fine. I think he is a replacement level starting quarterback in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
If everything went perfectly well, could he be a top 25 guy? Yeah. But he's just behind the 8 ball in so many different ways. Now, I had him ahead of every quarterback in this draft class, which should tell you how little I actually thought of it.
Mm-hmm.
Even Sam Howell, who I really liked, would have still been behind Davis Mills. And you look at what's around him, and he'll be fine.
Right.
He will not. I'll put it this way: he will not be the reason they lose games. They will lose games because I just think you have a gross talent deficiency.
My 29 is your 28, and your 28 is my 29. It's Trey Lance is next on the list. I just haven't seen enough, and I'm not saying that I absolutely believe that Davis Mills is better than Trey Lance when it all is said and done. Problem is, I just haven't seen it yet. And I don't know how much stock to put into this report that came out today that Trey Lance had a finger issue all year last year, and that's why he couldn't complete his passes when he was in the game. That he had a finger issue that wouldn't even allow him to use it to finish throws. He couldn't even bend the finger for most of the season.
And I'm sure that had a role. And the reason he's at 28 for me is, simply put, I've seen it in shorts.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in it. I just have to see it.
Yep.
And I'm sure there are a couple guys that are in front of him that will be problematic for some people. But I've just never seen it. I've never seen you do it.
And then that brings us to your boyfriend.
This is the one that I'm going to catch. I will catch so much shade for,
At
and I know
number
it.
27 with a bullet, he thinks he can be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL with Sam Darnold.
I have seen a 4-game stretch with Sam Darnold where he looked like a high-end, big boy level quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I will also say I don't know that I've ever seen a quarterback 5 years into the league that is now working on his 5th offensive coordinator, 5th system. This is probably the best offensive line he's ever had, which should tell you everything you need to know.
I don't think it's really close.
I still believe in the talent.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I've laughed at the, well, Carolina can go get Baker Mayfield. Stop. If you could have Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield right now, money was no issue. Money didn't matter. It's Darnold, and it's not even kind of close. Not even kind of close.
Mm-hmm.
3 inches taller, bigger arm, and much, much quieter mouth.
Yes.
Not even close.
I agree.
And you can call me a Sam Darnold homer. You can call me whatever you want to. I don't care.
Just because there are 2 items that are autographed by him in this studio at the moment doesn't have anything to do with Jeremy thinking that he's better than Baker Mayfield.
No, it has to do with I go back to the evaluation. I go back to the high-level things I've seen him do.
Mm-hmm.
The only problem is he's never done it for any consistent period of time. His good is top 20 good. His bad is not top 70 good. Inconsistency.
Right. At number 26, it's Mitchell Trubisky.
I laugh at how many people think he is a bad NFL quarterback. Do I think he is a superstar? By no stretch of the imagination, not even kind of a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
He did make a Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
And I know, well, but it's the Pro Bowl. They're not taking the 11th best quarterback in the conference. Right. I promise you.
There aren't too many, there are a lot of quarterbacks who can say they've been to a Pro Bowl, but there's a whole lot more who have to say, I've never been to a Pro Bowl.
I feel like Matt Nagy has way more to do with what happened to Mitch Trubisky and that Bears organization than anything that Mitch Trubisky did.
Maybe so. I mean, he is the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback that I go, you better play that guy.
Oh, absolutely. To me, that's no doubt who should be starting for them early on.
I don't want to see Kenny Pickett. I know that that's all the hype in Pittsburgh right now, but I think they will be better off with Mitchell Trubisky.
And to me, it's not even close. It's not even close. And that's a franchise that I actually trust.
I mean, I watched Mitch Trubisky, at least film on him anyway, since he was a junior in high school. When it was announced that Mitch Trubisky, this five-star quarterback is going to come to, or maybe four-star quarterback, I don't remember, is coming to North Carolina, I went back and went, wow, this guy's going to be amazing. And then we didn't get to see him a whole lot because he just couldn't get on the field with Marquise Williams there. And then he had the one big year, goes into the draft. I thought he was overdrafted, but it just didn't work in Chicago. Maybe this can. Maybe he can prove to be a serviceable starting quarterback in this league. I just still don't believe he's going to get the chance.
I fully believe the Chicago Bears could break Peyton Manning. I don't think there's – that's – and I'm hoping Ryan Poles will fix this.
Right.
That organization has been so poorly run for so long that I don't think it mattered who the quarterback was. Now you're going from one of the worst-run organizations in the NFL to one of the best.
Yes.
I have a belief in that.
At number 25, your new boyfriend, Zach Wilson.
221-pound new boyfriend, thank you.
He's beefed up, says he feels better, feels more confident in his play this year, and we'll see if it translates on the field. There's no doubt he's going to have better weapons to play with this year, healthier weapons than he had last year. I mean, last year it was Elijah Moore and nothing.
And Colin in our YouTube comments throwing all the love our way, which we greatly appreciate.
Yes.
And said, I would have Zach ahead of Trevor as of right now. Zach, to me, has shown more promise. I don't disagree with that. And just throwing this out there, I have Trevor Lawrence at 24.
Yeah.
I've got them back-to-back. I feel like these two guys are going to be tied together for the entirety of their careers.
Yes, they are inseparable.
I still believe the talent of Trevor Lawrence is generational. I can only throw so much shade at you for Urban Meyer. And there were some really hard-to-watch moments of Zach Wilson last year. But the good, I go back to the game with the Tennessee Titans. That is what gives me all the hope you could possibly ever want. He does have the legitimate big boy arm. Now he's got the weapons. Now he's got the offensive line. And I have said I think the Jets will be the best 6-11 team you've ever seen in your life. Because their schedule is poopy.
I, too, have Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson ranked right beside each other. I think they're a little higher on my list than they possibly should be, but
if they're higher than this, they are.
They are. They are a little higher than this. Not much, but I've got them like right on the teens, 20s line. And I still believe in Trevor Lawrence. I absolutely do.
I think Trevor having Doug Peterson is going to be – that will be an aberration for his career.
I will agree.
And look, I don't love Doug Peterson as a coach. I think he's a fine coach. I'm not saying he's Andy Reid, but he's a consistent voice. He has gotten the most out of quarterbacks. I have seen him do that.
How about Jared Goff at number 23?
I know somebody's going to say that's high.
It feels high.
You do realize he was the number one pick in a draft.
He was.
And went to a Super Bowl. Okay, where is the shade here?
He went to a Super Bowl, though, with a team that we didn't believe he was the reason that they went to a Super Bowl. And
I don't dispute any of that.
And I get it. I understand the argument of, he led a team to the Super Bowl. But did he really lead them, or was that Sean McVay leading the team? It was just he didn't screw it up enough for them not to make a Super Bowl.
He's a career 64% passer. Almost 3-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio.
And I believe he's going to have really good stats from now on the rest of his career. It's just, do you believe in him as a quote-unquote winner?
I'm not telling you he's a franchise quarterback. I'm not telling you he's somebody that you should be building your franchise around. I will say, if he didn't make as much money as he does, I think you would look at him differently.
Of course you would. If he was a $10 million a year quarterback, you'd go, he's the best damn deal in football.
And that's the thing. The money has nothing to do with this list. I don't care how much money you make. I didn't look. I did, and I put it out of my brain. Be really honest with yourself. How many teams in the NFL are going into this season would happily take Jared Goff.
Oh, there's a good handful.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the 7 or 8 teams that'll be drafting a quarterback in the first round next year.
Atlanta Falcons.
Right.
They're looking around going, we would kill for Jared Goff.
Uh-huh. The Carolina Panthers.
Mm-hmm. I think he just catches a lot of smoke because he was the number 1 pick in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
If he had gone at 15, you would look at him as, well, he's a first-round pick quarterback that went to a Super Bowl and has been pretty accurate and hasn't beaten you.
Right.
The vast majority of the time.
And he also may not be a $35 million a year quarterback, and
he never was
part of the problem.
He never was. The problem was that LA got into a bind because the team was good enough, had obviously been to a Super Bowl, and then you had to pay him.
Yep.
And then you had to give up 2 first-round picks to get out of it.
Mm-hmm. And that Detroit team, I think, is going to win more games than many
Detroit
people
team
expect.
is better than people think.
Absolutely.
They're better than people think. If I had $1 for every person that has either added me on Twitter or sent messages down the 47 different pipelines we have of, my team's better than Detroit. No, they are not.
I think there were a lot of people who were surprised by the numbers that Amon-Ra St. Brown was able to put up last year.
Oh, I know somebody that wasn't.
No, I wasn't.
I know one guy that wasn't. Now, you had a little bit of a helping hand here going, hey, I mean, I can't I'm not infallible here, but I do not know why people are not talking about this kid because he is good.
He is good. He is good. He was good last year with Jared Goff throwing to him, and now think about Jameson Williams coming into this system.
And DJ
Shark all
and
year
TJ
long.
Hawkinson.
Yeah.
And you still have 2 good running backs.
They're going to put up some numbers.
The offense is going to be good. The question is the defense going to be any good?
Right.
And I believe in Aaron Glenn.
Number 22. We'll tell you who that is coming up right after this on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Who ranks where in the top 30 quarterbacks in the NFL going into this season? It continues at 22 next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, after all the big rains last night and the flash flooding and the stormy weather we've had today across North Carolina, looks like everything moves on east and away from us for the holiday weekend. So lower humidity coming into the forecast tonight and Saturday. Still dealing with a little bit of cloud cover out there. Could see a stray showers of cold front eclipses tonight, 55 degrees, but most of the big weather has moved well east of us. Partly cloudy Saturday, 76, low 55, 80 Sunday. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
26 eastbound crawling between I-40 and Long Shoals Road. Emergency road work has the right lane closed at Long Shoals. 26 westbound stop and go approaching Hendersonville Road and continuing to Long Shoals Road. 40 westbound slow between the 26-240 split and George's Branch Road. Smoky Park Highway southbound from the Inca area to Sand Hill Road, heavy delays. Sand Hill Road northbound is slow between Sardis Road and Bavard Road. Brevard Road southbound slow between I-26 and Clayton Road near Avery Creek. Brevard Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road, delays. Sweeten Creek Road northbound is slow between Rathfarnham Road and Mills Gap Road. Sweeten Creek Road southbound, heavy delays between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. Hendersonville Road northbound, delays between Rockwell Drive and Fanning Bridge Road. Hendersonville Road north and southbound, delays between Mills Gap Road.
This report is sponsored by Tyson Furniture.
Tyson Furniture has a fantastic selection of quality furniture, honest values, and great service. We deliver weekly to Tennessee, South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. Visit us at Tyson Furniture in Black Mountain, where beautiful homes begin.
Here's to the great American settlers, the millions of you who settled for unsatisfying jobs because they pay the bills. Of course, there is something else you could do if you got something to say. Start a podcast with Spreaker from iHeart and unleash your creative freedom. Maybe even earn enough money to one day tell your old boss, hey, I'm no settler, I'm an explorer. Spreaker.com, Spreaker. Hustle on over today.
Progressive Commercial Insurance flexes to fit your business's needs, from quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options. Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
There are so many words to describe Panera's new Chef's Chicken sandwiches. The chicken, juicy, succulent, seared. The brioche roll, buttery and toasty. The Parmesan crisps, crunchy, tangy. The secret aioli, creamy and rich. All those words. But when you have a bite, you might just be left speechless. Panera's new Chef's Chicken Sandwiches. Enjoy $1 delivery fee when you order on our app. Restrictions apply. For details, visit panerabread.com/delivery info.
O'Reilly. Restore shine and protect your interior with Armor All cleaning and protectant wipes at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Right now, buy 2 canisters of Armor All wipes and get 1 free. Plus, you'll earn double O Rewards points. Clean, shine, and protect with Armor All wipes available at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts or shop online at O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Now is the time to get in the driver's seat of your career. Ingles Markets is looking for new regional drivers to join our Land to Sky distributors fleet. Start with 2 weeks paid time off and paid holidays. Our drivers average over $80,000 per year and they're home every week. Land to Sky offers excellent pay and a great benefits package. 6 months of CDLA driving experience is required to apply. Visit ingles-markets.com/careers to know more. That's ingles-markets.com/careers.
River Ridge Marketplace in East Asheville has been a staple of Buncombe County for generations, and now they're inviting you to their Spring Fling, May 28th from 11 to 4. There'll be food from their great restaurants such as Happy Cinco de Mayo, J&S Cafeteria, and many more. They'll also have sidewalk sales from their amazing vendors, snow cones, inflatables, and a petting zoo for the kids. So join me May 28th from 11 to 4 at River Ridge Marketplace.
The Sportsocracy.
Let's open up the whole can and kick ass and kill them all. Let the paramedics sort them out.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, coming to you from the Ingles Studio. Top 30 quarterbacks for 2022 in the NFL. At number 22, it's Carson Wentz.
He's another one. This was the tier of quarterbacks that catch a lot more smoke than they should. Problem with Carson Wentz is when is health for one, and he has a patent problem of absolutely throwing the interception at the worst possible time.
Yep.
I feel like Washington's going to rein him in, and you'll see a much high – look, I didn't love the trade because you gave up way too much to get this guy. But at the end of the day, I don't hate the player. This is a guy that would have been – had he not blown his knee out, he would have been the MVP of the league on a Super Bowl winning team. I still feel like he can be an efficient, good quarterback in this league. He's another one that falls into where you were drafted and how much money you make.
Yep. Carson Wentz is he's never lived up to the billing.
I don't know that I would agree with that.
I mean, there was that one
He's
stretch.
lived up to the billing for about 2 years. Yeah. And injuries just ravaged him. And then Philadelphia, there are stories that have come out of Philadelphia that are almost beyond belief.
That one stretch where he could have been the MVP, the Super Bowl year. Okay, he lived up to the billing then. But since then, it's been nothing but turmoil and turnovers and injury. And now he's with Washington. And do you think Ron Rivera and Scott Turner are going to be able to get the most out of him? I just don't know. I don't have a lot of faith.
17 games last year. How many interceptions did Carson Wentz throw?
Was it 6?
It's 7.
7.
He's been a starter for 6 years. 4 of them he has thrown 7 interceptions. This myth that he just throws so many interceptions. 2 years.
It's not just the interceptions, though. It's the fumbles, too.
Yeah,
he fumbles a lot.
That did play into my narrative,
right.
So I wasn't going to say it.
Right.
But
I mean, everybody wants to talk about the Jameis Winston 30-30 year in Tampa. I didn't really feel all that bad about the 30 interceptions. It was when you added the 19 fumbles on top of it.
Yeah, he has a turnover problem.
Does have a turnover
That's
problem.
why you don't want a little tiny hand quarterback like Kenny Pickett.
At number 21, Tua Tagovailoa.
I didn't know where to put him, if I was being legitimately honest.
I think you nailed it.
And the more I've looked at it, I think I should have him 4 spots lower. I genuinely think I should have him below Carson Wentz, Jared Goff, Trevor Lawrence, and Zach Wilson. Their high side is infinitely higher than his. But he's got the weapons.
He does.
And there might be something you haven't seen yet. That's why I put him here.
Okay.
I know what Jared Goff and Carson Wentz are. The good is good, the bad is bad.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's exactly what Tua is. But his good might be better than I've seen, and his bad, you may have seen the worst of him that you're going to see.
All right, let's break into the top 20 here. Who came in at number 20 on the Jeremy Greene top 30 quarterbacks list?
It's a player that I have not loved for quite some time, Jalen Hurts.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been enamored with him, but I do. I just look at the way that offense is going to run. He's not going to be asked to do a ton.
Mm-hmm.
And when you take that into consideration, what he's going to be asked to do, he can be very good at. The problem is that I never really thought he fit the narrative of what they wanted him to be. Now I think they figured it out. You need a playmaker that's a yak guy. Well, that's A.J. Brown. He's the best in the league at that.
Right.
You need to be able to run the ball, and you need to be able to play defense.
Mm-hmm.
Name me a team that added more high-level star players than the Philadelphia Eagles.
There's not one.
There you go. Is he limited? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Can he do what he's going to be asked to do?
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Jalen Hurts at number 20. Jameis Winston at number 19.
It's another one. The bad is really bad. I still believe in the arm talent. And maybe it's just I can't get over it. Maybe it's I don't know.
But it's been 2 years since you've seen the really bad. You haven't seen it. In the limited time he had last year, you haven't seen it. And then, he did have that one big highlight throw the year before when he was playing against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, had that big 65-yard touchdown pass.
And this is just the stretch of guys that fit into a very specific box. I think he might be the most talented on the high side, but the interceptions. That's what puts him at 19 instead of 16. The good is very good, though. And I have to emphasize this, with now having a defensive coordinator as a head coach, which is what Dennis Allen is, I don't think you're going to see him given the platitudes that he was with Bruce Arians and Sean Payton.
The next one shocks me. Mac Jones coming in at 18. You believe in him more than all the quarterbacks that we've just listed?
Yes.
Okay. Just because of his efficiency?
He's not going to beat you. And there is a merit to I'm not going to beat you. Look, there is a cataclysmic drop-off to me at about 16.
Okay.
I mean, it drops off a cliff. And I just think he's one of the two that are at 17 and 18 are really efficient. They're not going to beat you. And they're good. Mac Jones is a good quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do I think he's a superstar? No. I think he's a very efficient, very good game manager. He is the A+ version of every game manager we've ever talked about. I just think he needs a lot around him to be as good as he could be, and I don't think he's ever going to have that.
At number 17, it's Jimmy Garoppolo.
He fits into so many places. He would be an improvement for half the league at quarterback. He's another one that comes back to the money, and he's just hurt all the time.
Mm-hmm.
He's hurt all the time.
All the time. And then
if it wasn't for injuries, I could argue he would be in the top 13 or 14.
Right. He said there was a cataclysmic drop-off after 16, so we'll give you that coming up next. But first, let's get weird.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
All right, we don't normally talk about politics on this show. However, this just stuck out to me. In Casper, Wyoming tomorrow, there is going to be a rally held by President Donald Trump. The former president and the Secret Service have some interesting things that are on their do not bring list to this event. Obviously, things like explosives and weapons, obviously a no-no at campaign
Don't
rallies.
do crimes.
They also have, though, listed appliances. Do not bring home appliances. And under the examples of appliances that you cannot bring, toasters. Has someone taken it? Because here's the thing. Like, when you hear about don't bring this, don't bring that, you have to feel like somebody did this. Somebody brought a toaster to a campaign rally, and they went, nah, next time, it didn't go so well.
Well, here's my question. What are you going to do with a toaster?
I have no idea.
I mean, are there electrical outlets at this thing? Because I feel like a toaster with no plug is just a really big brick that has 2 slots for bread.
Pretty much. Toast, by the way, not banned from the rally. You just have to fix it at home and then bring it with you. No toasters at the party. And the only thought that I could think of is that we have seen, the crock pot bombs and things like that, maybe there's a toaster bomb out there somewhere. I don't know.
That's above my pay grade.
Yeah, it's above my pay grade as well. But, yeah, don't bring your toasters to the campaign rallies. That's a new one.
Laura Fettig, she had a weird incident with the Hilton Garden Inn. She was hit, allegedly, by one of their buses.
Okay.
And she settled for $85,000. Well, now she has been fighting to rescind the settlement because she thinks she is entitled to more. Because she wound up with a very strange ailment after the incident.
Okay.
If you know who Tom Segura is, he has spoken about this disorder. It's foreign accent syndrome. Apparently what this is that you take some kind of blow to your head, and when you wake up from this, you now speak in an accent that is not the accent that you once had.
Right.
There have been less than 100 documented cases of this in over 100 years. But she claims her counsel intimidated her into taking this offer, and she wanted it rescinded. Now, that has been struck down. She is appealing again. Hilton Garden Inn did not have an official statement, but their lawyer did. They think she's making it up.
Well, yeah.
There has always been a narrative that this syndrome is not real. There are, I can't tell you the medical professional percentage of people that think it's not real.
Yeah.
I've never seen somebody use it in a lawsuit. Never seen that.
It seems absolutely ridiculous.
The Tom Segura bit is everything you need to know. Just if you've never seen it, Google it.
Yeah, absolutely.
GTS. Tom Segura foreign accent syndrome.
Wow. And now she thinks she needs more money because the accent is what? Damaging her chances to get a job, or is she going to get canceled because she's walking around?
She was on disability, so there was no lost wages. That's Hilton Garden Inn's argument.
Okay.
Is that we gave you $85,000. What more exactly do you want? And here's my other question. How bad could this accent be that it's hindering you in some shape, form, or fashion? I mean, frankly, if you told me I was going to get a syndrome and all it did was change this.
Right.
Oh, you mean I don't sound like Cletus the Slackjawed Yokel anymore?
But you don't know. Does it say what accent she picked up?
It is a European accent.
A European accent.
They did not specify that any further.
Look, maybe
and I'll be honest with you, from the way the story reads, it's because they can't identify exactly what it is, which is part of why they think it is
made up.
Exactly.
Right. So she's like, for those of you who have seen the movie Snatch, she's like talking pikey, where it's not 1 or 2 or 3 languages, it's all of them mixed together. Maybe it's can be viewed as quote unquote wildly racist, and that would be a hindrance. So I don't know.
If it ever happened to me, the only thing I can say is I would absolutely love to wind up with a Ricky Gervais or a Jim Jeffries accent.
Yes.
As a stand-up, I feel like that would aid me a little bit.
With your look and that accent, maybe.
Tremendous.
That would go viral. It would go viral for sure. At number 16 in the top 30 quarterbacks list for 2022, it's Ryan Tannehill.
I like Ryan Tannehill more than most.
Mm-hmm. But this is the dry white bread area of this.
Oh yeah, this is where he's the last player before you get into, okay, that guy's really talented.
Right.
Now it's what's around him, coaching staff. That's what separates you from being, say, a playoff team. I feel like Ryan Tannehill is in the only situation in the NFL where he could be this good because he needs that running game. He needs to be able to do things off play action. But there's still a merit to that. Like I said earlier, if you can do one thing really well, there's a merit to that. And he is the definition of that.
Number 15, Kyler Murray. Still wouldn't pay him. But you've got him as one of the top 15 quarterbacks in the league.
I think he's the last elite quarterback.
Okay.
I think he's the last star quarterback in the NFL. It's just too easy to defend him. And now, look, this could be my Golden State Warriors take all over again, that the first 8 weeks with no DeAndre Hopkins, he shows something that I've never seen before, and I have to revisit this. I don't think it's going to happen because once teams figured it out, he was awful.
Right.
I mean, legitimately awful. And I'm afraid that that's the narrative moving forward, is that teams now just go, stop blitzing him to the outside. Go right up the middle, and he can't do anything with it because he's so short.
Right.
Which is, by the way, why short quarterbacks have never worked in the NFL.
He has been less explosive running the football because of the pressure that he's been under from other defenses, and he just hasn't been able to show it out with the arm. That was the big problem last year for me. Now, can that improve? Marquise Brown coming in, once DeAndre Hopkins comes back, maybe the running skill comes back as well. At number 14, Matt Ryan of the Indianapolis Colts.
Dull as dishwater, but man, he is effective when he has something around him.
Yes.
I understand it's been bad in Atlanta for a couple of years. Where's Julio Jones playing again? Oh, yeah, that's right. He touched the Space Jam ball, and now he's not any good anymore. Well, here's the thing. That happened with about 2 years left in his tenure in Atlanta, and it was just, he's good when he's out here. He's just never out here. And other than that, you give him any form of weapons, and he's been good. I think he's going to be really good in Indianapolis. Playing in a dome, obviously, has always been beneficial to him. Just funny because he played at Boston College. Now you have Michael Pittman, big-bodied receiver. Everything lays out that this should be tremendous for him. I think he catches more shade than any quarterback in the league that doesn't deserve it.
Well, because his teams have been dog water the last couple of years, and people think it's because Matt Ryan is cooked.
Well, you mix that with the Super Bowl collapse, which he did play a role in.
He did.
And that's where you catch the shade. I just think it's very unmerited.
Another guy who takes a whole lot of heat and should not, it's Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins at number 13.
He's probably the most disrespected quarterback in the league.
I'd agree with that.
And every bit of it is because of the money.
People think he should be in that Daniel Jones area sometimes, the way they talk about him.
Oh, yeah,
and I just don't
it's
see
ridiculous.
it. Yeah, I just don't see it.
He hits every metric, whether it's statistic, eyeball test, none of it matters. If you watch the games, it's very obvious that he's a good, high-level quarterback. The winning has not always been there. And I could argue that's because for probably half of his career, he's played on teams where you couldn't stop a nosebleed with a roll of paper towels.
Number 12, Dak Prescott.
And I think I'm being nice. Honestly, I think I'm being nice.
I have Kirk Cousins ahead of Dak Prescott on my list, but that's just me.
And I considered it, but I think the high side of Dak is better.
I would agree. He's a younger, more mobile quarterback.
There's probably no quarterback in this league that could vary more based on this year. Now that you're down to just CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup, you don't have the unbelievable weapons. The weapons are still good. But if you're a 5,000-yard guy again and you win this division, okay, now you're managing to still be productive even after the contract kicked in and you don't have the ridiculous talent around you.
And I still feel like that is possible for Dak this year in Dallas. Derek Carr, number 11.
I don't think I've ever had him in a different place. I think Derek Carr should be forced to wear number 11.
Okay.
Because I don't see how anybody else could have him anywhere else. I mean, who is there behind him that you could even argue with me that they are better than him?
Nobody.
There you go.
Nobody.
I mean, you can argue anybody. You can argue Jalen Hurts. Now, it's going to go in one ear and out the other, and I'm going to laugh aggressively as soon as you turn your back. But
right. He's my 11 as well. In fact, we have very similar rankings all throughout this list. We just have one or two spots that are a little different. Derek Carr at number 11, you got to give the guy his due, and now he has Devontae Adams. So do you think he's going to be better or worse?
Oh, he's absolutely going to be better.
He's 100% going to be better. Now comes the top 10.
I don't really feel like this is even kind of debatable either. Because you have not seen my list and you cannot actively see it right now.
I have not.
Who's the name that should be here?
I would say Matthew Stafford.
That's exactly who it is.
Matthew Stafford at number 10. I mean, he had big numbers when he was in Detroit. Now he went to L.A. and got the Super Bowl. How can you doubt him any more than that?
And that's who he is. He's got a big arm. He's a very good quarterback. Mm-hmm. He catches a lot of smoke because it was never great in Detroit. He didn't have great around him.
Mm-hmm.
Now he has great around him. You put great around him, and wonderful things can happen. He's a reigning Super Bowl champion. But I can't have him ahead of any of the guys in front of him.
Number 9, Russell Wilson. Super Bowl champion, new team in Denver, young weapons. I still feel like this is going to be a very volatile year for them, but he's got a chance.
He's a phenomenal quarterback. I don't think Russell is going to age as well as everybody else seems to. He's at I'm going to call this the Tom Brady rule from now on.
Okay.
You do understand these are two completely different quarterbacks, right? I mean, couldn't be any more polar opposite if they tried. Taking numerous more hits than Tom. He's not going to play to 40.
Mm-hmm.
He's 33 right now. New system, new situation. I'm not sure it's going to be as good as everybody thinks. He is, to me, the last superstar quarterback, and he is last on the list to me. I would take all 8 other superstar quarterbacks over Russell Wilson. Still great. I'm not throwing shade. This is it's razor thin, but he's the one I believe in least.
You're 8 and 9 or 9 and 8 or
you flipped Lamar Jackson and Russell Wilson?
I had Russell Wilson ahead of Lamar Jackson just because of what he's accomplished. And I think as a full, complete quarterback, Russell is better. Lamar's more explosive. Lamar's more, younger. And I think his team's going to be much better than the Denver Broncos. Lamar Jackson comes in at number 8.
He can beat you a multitude of different ways. And Stephen Tow's already said, Deshaun Watson hasn't played in a year, so you've got him at least 1 too high. No, I don't, because I would have had him in the top 5. And I just think in terms of just the arm, that's what pushes him down. Mm-hmm. And then you look at how many different ways he can beat you and also how that team's built. Whether you love him, hate him, whatever you think about him, you have to look at John Harbaugh and DaCosta and go, well, if you were building a team from scratch, you couldn't have done it any better than what Baltimore has.
Right. At number 7, Deshaun Watson.
And this is take out all of the personal off-the-field things, all of that. This is just on the field.
Mm-hmm.
He would have been a top 5 quarterback a year ago.
No doubt.
And I can't get past that. I can't. And yeah, I don't love the situation in Cleveland as much as everybody else does. I'm not just drooling over, Cleveland's going to win 14 games now.
Mm-hmm.
I've said for 3 solid years now, if Cleveland had even a competent quarterback, you're light years ahead of where you are.
Yep.
Well, now you do. There's going to be some rust. I do think there's going to be a suspension. But if I had to win 1 game, there are not many quarterbacks I would take over him.
Mm-hmm.
And the 6 in front of him are the 6 that I don't think you could put him in front of right now.
At number 6, it's Justin Herbert. What can you say about the kid?
He's the one that I think could be at 1 in 1 year. They turn the corner this year, you could be looking at Justin Herbert going, that's the best quarterback in the league.
Maybe.
And it wouldn't surprise me in the least.
I think there's a possibility that could happen. I don't think you're looking at any of the other quarterback. Maybe further on at the top, you could see some flip-flopping. I don't want to ruin it for the radio audience, but you could see some flip-flopping at the very top. But, yeah, I don't know that
another
there's a
quarterback
path
in the NFL that is on this list at a level that probably shocks people. If Justin Herbert had a Cincinnati Bengal year this year, winds up in the Super Bowl, you're going to take him ahead of Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
Who's 40 now at this time. Tom Brady would be 47.
And
have to go ahead of Josh Allen because it'd be the 4th year in a row you've let me down.
Right. So Justin Herbert comes in at number 6. Aaron Rodgers 5. Tom Brady 4.
That's just where the old guys had to go.
Mm-hmm.
Had to.
Yeah.
And the dissent I'm seeing in the comments right now is Herbert's too low. I'm going to need him to make the playoffs before I can put him ahead of the greatest quarterback that's ever lived.
Right.
And another one that's top 10.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not disputing the talent. If we're talking about 10 years, I'm talking about one game. I'm talking about I have to win one game right now. I want to see him win one of those high-level games before I can put him in front of it. And this is not a slight.
Yeah.
Anybody in this top, if you're on this screen, you're fine. You're doing just fine, okay?
Exactly.
We, whose quarterback is on the third screen, you're fine.
So Aaron Rodgers 5, Tom Brady 4. You can't argue with the rings with Tom Brady. Everywhere he goes, he's been a winner.
Down to the final 3.
Mm-hmm.
We still got to do 5 on it, and we will reveal the top 3 in the final segment of this here program.
All right, let's win some money tonight. Flo Stradamus, give us those picks.
Well, the pain of taking aggressive favorites is that, well, you don't win as much as you'd like to. So I wagered a lot of money yesterday, didn't win as much as I'd like to. If you started with us on January 1st, you're up $75.10. That's with all of the fees, all of the things. You would be up $75. That's a high-level steak dinner. 3 picks for you tonight. The Blues are a minus 145 or plus 145 dog, against the Colorado Avalanche. I got 50 on it. I think they are going to win this outright. They're going to push this series to a Game 7. And it's solely because I think they're going to gross this up. This has one of those old school 18-fight, 47 penalty hockey games. That's the way this lays out to me. I got 50 on it. Blues plus 145. Next, over-under in the Celtics Heat game is 201.5. I'll be really honest with you. I think you could let the Heat play with 6 players and you still wouldn't get over 201.5. They haven't sniffed this number yet. It's just as low as you can put it. You can't go any lower than this, or Sharps will kill you. I got 50 on it, under 201.5. Finally, I'll lay the number. I don't care. I got 75 on the Boston Celtics minus 8.5. They're going to put this to bed. I don't think this game's going to be particularly all that close. Boston's a tough place to play, and it is going to be lively tonight.
Take those wagers to betus.com. Use the promo code Sportsocracy. Get the 125% deposit bonus on whatever you put in, up to $2,500. The PhD weight loss program, helping Jeremy and I get healthier in 24 weeks. I have lost over 66 pounds. I feel like a completely different person, and to some people, I look like a completely different person. I'm getting confused by people who have known me for decades with other people that they know.
I've never been crazy heavy. I've always just been a little doughy. And now, thanks to the program at PhD, I've fixed that. I've fixed another of my great problems, which is I was really lazy with my food choices, which always kept me about 20 pounds heavier than I should be. And I couldn't sleep. Well, now I'm sleeping better than ever, and it's thanks to the program, food, and dietary program at PhD Weight Loss.
The dietary program is a lifesaver because it is very convenient. It makes it makes a healthy diet as convenient as stopping by any fast food place. But again, way healthier than you're going to find at any of those fast food joints. Go to myphdweightloss.com today if you need to lose pounds and make a change in your life, and do it with PhD Weight Loss, because they are the official weight loss program of the Clemson Tigers and their fans. Top 3 quarterbacks for the next year coming up next.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Heavy traffic volume, 26 westbound around Chimney Rock Road due to an accident. 26 westbound, then stop and go between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Again, 26 westbound, heavy volume between Bavard Road and I-40. 26 on the eastbound side is crawling between I-40 and Long Shoals Road. Emergency road work has the right lane closed near Long Shoals Road. 40 westbound, stop and go between the 26-240 split and Smoky Park Highway. Sweeten Creek Road, southbound and northbound, approaching Mills Gap Road, heavy delays. Hendersonville Road, southbound, very busy between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road. Near Avery Creek, Boulevard Road, north and southbound, approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Again, Boulevard Road, southbound, heavy delays between I-26 and Clayton Road. I'm Lee Minfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples Print and Marketing Services help small business print big with wide format signs and banners. Right now, get $10 off custom printed signs, banners, and posters when you spend $50 or more. Offer ends 7/2. Visit staples.com/thisisyoursign for details. This is your sign to print big at Staples.
Northern Tool and Equipment isn't just a store. It's a problem solver's paradise. Fully stocked with the right professional grade tools and fully staffed with experts who have the right answers. Problem solved. Shop Northern Tool and Equipment this week for our Memorial Day sale. Save up to 50% on lawn and garden equipment, fans, power tools, and more. Shop in store or online at northerntool.com.
The pros at Zero Res Air Duct Cleaning will help you achieve insanely clean indoor air quality. Right now, mention ESPN Asheville and you'll get $30 off your next air duct cleaning, plus 15% off filters and purifiers. Schedule at ZeroResAsheville.com. Zero Res, it's the right way to clean.
My friend and I are taking a trip to Mexico this year, but neither of us speak Spanish. So we downloaded Babbel and started learning Spanish fast.
Want to get conversational in another language in as little as 3 weeks? Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons were designed by language experts to be the most efficient and effective way to learn a new language.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas? Babbel, language for life, celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
Straight Talk Wireless now has the new iPhone 13 with cinematic mode, which lets you focus on what matters. And with Straight Talk, you can focus on getting the best deal. Our Silver Unlimited plan is just $45 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. And it runs on the largest, most dependable networks, now with nationwide 5G. With the iPhone 13 on Straight Talk, you can share whatever you want, wherever you want. Straight Talk Wireless. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Welcome back into ESPN Asheville. You are in the Sportsocracy. Check us out at thesportsocracy.com. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel while you are there. Now, top 3 quarterbacks for 2022. Josh Allen at number 3.
You would have thought he was higher.
I would have thought you'd have had him in your top 2.
And I would, except he falls into that same problem with Justin Herbert of you keep letting me down in these big games. Now, look, the last one was not his fault.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. But, I mean, we're very nitpicky here. And there's 2 guys that I've seen in Super Bowls that are ahead of him. It is what it is.
It is what it is. He is the only non-Super Bowl winning quarterback, though, in the top 5. So that's
Super Bowl participant, because one of them has not won.
Oh, that's true. That is true. But, I mean, we all feel like it's going to happen very, very soon. Number 2 is Patrick Mahomes.
I love Patrick Mahomes. I do. I do. And I'm sure somebody's going to be shocked that I have Joe Burrow at 1.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Burrow not only took one of the most unbelievable teams I've ever seen wind up in a Super Bowl, he beat the curse of the Cincinnati Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
So does that seem high? Sure. And it might be. It's not to me. If I had to pick one quarterback to win a game right now,
right,
it's Joe Burrow.
Are we saying that he's greater than Patrick Mahomes career-wise? No, you can't say that because you've only seen 1 year.
Oh, I thought you were about to say, are we saying he's better than yes. Yes. I do think he is better.
Right.
I think Joe Burrow is the best quarterback in the NFL.
I do too. He's my number one as well. I have loved the kid since before people knew who he was.
Mm-hmm.
I watched him in his junior year at LSU and went, there's something about that Burrow kid. And then guess what? Senior year, that's when he went on the tear in 2019, and everybody caught on to this is the best quarterback in college football. He comes into the NFL, gets hurt, then he goes to a Super Bowl his second year, the only full season that he's played. I think the sky's the limit for him. I think he's going to win a Super Bowl at some point.
As do I.
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. We hope everybody has a very happy, very safe Memorial Day weekend. If you're grilling out, don't burn down the neighborhood. Just be as safe as possible. Don't drink and drive. And we will see you back here on Tuesday here on ESPN Asheville at 3 o'clock.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, after all the big rains last night and the flash flooding and the stormy weather we've had today across North Carolina, looks like everything moves on east and away from us for the holiday weekend. So lower humidity coming into the forecast tonight and Saturday. Still dealing with a little bit of cloud cover out there. Could see a stray showers of cold front eclipses tonight, 55 degrees, but most of the big weather has moved well east of us. Partly cloudy Saturday, 76, low 55, 80 Sunday. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Discover. If you're a valued customer, you deserve a simple gesture of appreciation from your credit card company. And that's why Discover matches all of the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year. Discover. Exceptionally common sense. Learn more at discover.com/match. Limitations apply.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Heavy traffic volume 26 westbound around Chimney Rock Road due to an accident. 26 westbound, then stop and go between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Again, 26 westbound, heavy volume between Bavard Road and I-40. 26 on the eastbound side is crawling between I-40 and Long Shoals Road. Emergency road work has the right lane closed near Long Shoals Road. 40 westbound stop and go between the 26-240 split and Smoky Park Highway. Sweeten Creek Road, southbound and northbound, approaching Mills Gap Road, heavy delays. Hendersonville Road, southbound, very busy between Biltmore
This
Forest
report is sponsored by
Road.
Allstate. Are you a safe driver? Are you looking to save money? With DriveWise from Allstate, the safer you drive, the more you can save. At Allstate, better protection costs a whole lot less. Visit allstate.com or call an agent for a quote today.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.